What is up? Welcome back. In case you've missed the last few videos, I recently ran my first half marathon and I will not shut up about it. Honestly surprised I'm not wearing the medal right now. But my original plan was to take 1 week for recovery, then get straight back to training. Now, what has happened in reality is that it has now been several weeks. I mean, not several, but like more than a couple weeks. And I'm not apologizing. I feel 0% guilty for not getting right back to running because I needed to take that time for me to recharge mentally and physically so I could bring the intensity I want to bring to this next phase of training, which by the way is not to train for a full marathon. I know everybody's doing it. I have yet to be convinced. It's going to sound like backward progress, but I'm actually training for a 5K and I'm so excited about it. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through an updated week of training, explaining what I'm doing, the changes I'm making, techniques I'm using, and the most exciting part is that you can actually do this with me because this is week 1 of our latest challenge in the Team Plans app. It is called the Reach Challenge. I'll put some key info on screen, but it is all about a hybrid approach to training. So combining running with weightlifting. This is great if you are a runner who wants workouts to support what you're doing, help keep your body healthy, functional training, keep you injury free, help you improve your power, your speed, all of that. It's also great though if you're a weightlifter wanting to get into running it, because a very, very exciting bonus that we have is that if you join before challenge start, you will get our new first 5K run guide for free. This run guide is going to be launching on the same day that the challenge starts, so it'll be available for like on its own purchase, but I wanted to throw it in for free if you join the challenge because that's how I think you're going to get the most out of both. There's a lot to talk about. I'm very excited. For now, I'll put some info below. Let's go. Welcome to our first workout of the week. Today we get to use one of my favorite training techniques, which is combining strength with speed to make you and me more powerful athletes. The way today's workout will be structured is we will have 2 blocks. So block 1 will focus on power development with a lower body emphasis. Then block 2 will go over to injury prevention, hitting those smaller stabilizer muscles and balancing out our upper body. So still technically a full body workout, but we've rearranged the order of exercises so we can focus on the power you need as a runner. First up, we've got a heavy front squat. The purpose of this movement is to maximize muscle recruitment. Normally you do this with a heavy strength exercise or isometric. Throughout the challenge, we'll do both. Right into a depth drop to vertical jump, especially if you're new to plyometric training. Please modify this to be body weight only. What we want to emphasize is the eccentric, so the loading that comes with landing before reversing into that jump. Third exercise is a jump squat. The goal here is to get triple extension of your hips, knees, and feet. If you imagine your body like a spring, you're compressing and storing the energy as you lower it, then releasing that energy as you explode up. Finally, we're going for pure speed, body weight only, moving as fast as possible, ground contact time minimal. As soon as you land, you're taking off again. Today we're doing something called French contrast training, which is an offshoot of traditional contrast training that involves pairing a strength with a speed exercise to improve muscle performance via a phenomenon called post-activation potentiation. If you want a deep dive video on the science behind this, absolutely let me know. You know, I love chat nerdy. But this is a higher impact and higher intensity form of training, which is not a bad thing. I think the online fitness community, specifically the women's side of things, have unfairly demonized higher intensity and higher impact forms of exercise. And I completely get it. I think I was probably also part of that because I have gone to extremes in the past and I have felt the consequences of those actions on my own body. But much of this can be avoided with smart programming. And there are so many benefits to power training, especially for runners, especially for hybrid athletes, if scheduled correctly in your training cycle. If you are starting a half marathon or a marathon training cycle, if you are entering a speed focused block of run training, power training is great because typically your running mileage is a bit lower. And so you have have more recovery capacity to balance your intensity between weightlifting and running. So we're doing that complex 3 times. What's really important with contrast training is recovery. I hate rest between sets. I get so distracted. So I've programmed an active recovery, basically some gentle mobility to keep the body moving and blood flowing. Moving into block 2, the focus here is injury prevention. Now, the key to moving safely at speed, being able to do everything we did in block 1 safely, is having a balanced body. I think a lot of people think about muscle imbalances as being from side to side, but it also applies from upper body to lower body and larger versus stabilizer muscles. First up, we've got a split stance calf raise, making it sport specific by ending in that triple extension position, right into a split stance overhead press, stabilizing against that vertical loading, similar to what you'd experience with running. Turning around and moving right into a bent leg variation of the calf raise to make sure we're hitting all those little calf muscles. Finishing it with a bent over row. I love this split stance hinged position. You'll know if you train with me, for challenging hip stability. Bit of an impromptu bike ride today because Mom and I signed up for another cycling event on a whim in July. The last one we did was 45K.
Yeah, 45.
But the next one is 65K through more gravel. I don't think there's a lot of road.
I don't think there's any road.
There's
and
no
I
road.
think it's over 1,000 meters of elevation gain.
So long story short, I need to spend some time in the saddle. Mom has been riding. I have not been.
There, and they're always wild, right?
The little babies have grown quite a bit.
Bikes.
Yeah, we could do that.
And then we could go to the...
Yep, I'm just gonna shake this
The
up.
longer...
So today would normally be an easy run for me. Tuesdays are for easy runs in the Reach Challenge. There will be 2 levels of running provided, each following a 3-day running split with guidance for if you want to adapt this. Now, of course, if you want to get better at running, it is best to stick with running. But because I'm not super close to a race, I am pretty flexible with my easy effort training, as long as I am getting in that low intensity, easy effort, enjoyable aerobic activity. I don't worry if it is running, biking. I mean, who knows? Maybe one week I'll try swimming. Have you got your shoes on already?
I do.
Okay. Not riding in.
Like, thinner nylon socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it in my arm. I put it on before I went out with Bean. She likes getting it on. She's so little, so it
A little goes along.
She is adorable though. Now, I'm starting to freak out because see that white plant? Resin in it, if you touch the stem and you touch your eyes, you will be blinded.
That up.
I think we should.
To see.
Yes, and yet, this is nice because the vest comes up a little bit.
Strong, Grandma. All right, heading out. Taking a water break. This is facing the wrong way.
I know, so was this one. It's left
Cute. My post-ride interview, how far did we ride?
We rode over 40K.
I need to check our average speed. Let's see. Oh wait, I have not yet stopped my watch.
I think we didn't intend to go quite that far.
We did not.
But you know, once you get on a trail, you just want to see what's around every corner and where it actually ends.
That is the risky run, riding with Mummy. She loves to do her little dipsy doodles.
Yes.
Wandering around,
Yes.
looking for the end of the trail, but we did just over 40K at 23.7 kilometer an hour average, which isn't bad for a lot of turns and some areas where we had to stop.
Now, one thing you'll notice with the challenge is that we also have this optional core workout. If you are watching this video when it goes live, this content will still appear locked for you. It will unlock when it is time to start the challenge, but to give you a sneak peek. And there are 2 main reasons for the optional workout. So the first is if you have a ton of energy, you finish your easy run, you're bouncing off the walls, you think, I just got to keep moving. Rather than doing a bunch of random exercises that may or may not benefit your running, I have programmed this sport-specific training to be compatible with what we're doing. On the flip side, if you are short on time, if you're low on energy, if you're just having a bad day, you get your easy run done, you can skip these entirely. You do not need to do them. You don't need to worry about not doing them. The beauty of full body training is that it truly does hit everything. As you get started with the challenge, as you'll see throughout this week, we do a lot of functional variations of the traditional compound exercises. We start every full body workout with dynamic stretching, a mobility warm up. So you really are doing everything you need to develop a balanced body, core and stabilizer muscles included. Today's bike ride went longer than expected, so I am just gonna skip this. Good morning. It is just after 7 and we're doing the thing. I said I would get up for a run this morning. It is a speed workout that was actually supposed to be later this week, but because I am planning on going to Run Club, I'm rearranging a couple of things so that hopefully it works out in the end. But truthfully, I am tired. My body is tired. I really have no interest in doing this.
Your voice sounds so nasty.
I'm feeling nasty, man.
Yeah, let's get our warm up done.
This is Jeff's first time clipping in since I was pregnant. Look at you go. Woohoo!
So false start, my ankle has been, I don't even know what it's doing. Also, I know that I didn't technically want to run this morning, but this is not that. There is a difference between muscle soreness and something that feels like an injury. We made it a whole, what was that, 6 minutes?
That's an old baseball trick. True uses they'll load up sunscreen and get sweat going.
What is this? This is a slide.
Well, right now I'm sliding my heel.
And it's for your knee.
It's so that I can see if I'm getting more.
Well, it didn't practice straightening out that time. Yeah, your knee was cracked. There's a lot less swelling on these two surfaces instead of it slotting in. Instead of it slotting in perfectly into that groove.
So here's what happened. During the half marathon, I was hopped up on adrenaline. In case you missed the race recap video, I will link it down below, but it was around miles 9 or 10 that I started struggling. This was the point in the course where the route had started going more through the downtown portion of the city. So the roads were kind of busted. I wasn't paying the most attention to where my feet were going because I was fatigued, I was struggling, and at one point I almost tripped. But I saved it, and because I saved it, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't quite roll my ankle, but I did have it go kind of like this. It was quick, there was no pain when it happened. So I explained all this to my PT. He assessed my range of motion, my control, my stability. We tried to replicate the pain that I've experienced this morning, and he agreed that what I'm experiencing is not consistent with an overuse injury. Instead, it seems like I'd got a low-grade sprain from whatever I did during the half marathon, which does make sense to me because the pain typically subsides with running, and I had no pain through half marathon training. So because it's low grade and it's already been a few weeks since when we think I got the injury, he's not recommending any major changes to what I'm doing. It seems like it is healing fine as long as I don't drastically switch up my running, go out and do anything crazy. I'm good to keep running, which is a relief. I will be adding in some rehab exercises like what you saw this morning, which is basically just lightly loaded stability movements to keep the joint moving, prevent it from stiffening, strengthen the little muscles surrounding the ankle joint. I did run out of time to run today, but we will be doing a quickie full body. Welcome to our Wednesday workout. Today we are doing 2-for-1 full body from the app. It is called 2-for-1 because this is a short and sweet, quickie, full body workout. Today we're pairing upper with the lower body movements. So while your upper body is working, your lower body is resting and vice versa. This allows us to cut down on workout time without compromising on recovery or performance during training. And if you're in the app, you'll know this is one of my favorite training techniques. But another one you'll see later in the challenge is agonist-antagonist pairs or opposite muscle action supersets. So let me know if you'd like a video getting more into that. We're back in business. We are gearing up for our speed workout. This is actually the workout that I had been rearranging the entire week around. And the irony is that now I am doing it right before Run Club, which is what I was trying to avoid. But My ankle is feeling great today. I have had no pain. It feels fantastic through a full range. So my plan is I'm going to shorten the easy running warm-up of today's run, get my speed workout done on the treadmill. So today I have got 6 to 8, depending how I'm feeling, cruise intervals at a relatively aggressive speed. So that's 6 to 8 intervals of 1 kilometer repeats. That was a lot of words to say, not a lot of things. Then I'm going to hop in the car, drive to Run Club, and treat Run Club as my easy running cool down / the easy running that I took out of the warm up. I'm telling myself now I'm only going to do the 5K distance, but there is a very strong chance that when I get there, I will run the 10K. So before we start running, I'm swapping the optional hip mobility from the Reach Challenge for an extended warm up. If you want to do this with me, it's the ankles and feet pre-run warm up routine from the app. I try to do a structured warm-up before faster run workouts. I should before all runs, but especially with my ankle, I want to make sure we've got all our bases covered. First kilometer interval, my goal is to hold an 8.5 on the treadmill, but I'm already feeling the heat, so we'll see. First repeat, I am absolutely feeling the heat. I thought I was gonna die after a minute in, but something happened around minute 2, which has me feeling cautiously optimistic for the next. Like deep cramping through my core. I think it's just really hot and I'm really trying to breathe. We're going to get in 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! Kilometer 3, and I think I overestimated how much time I have before Run Club, which honestly is kind of good news for me. We're just taking a rest at 2 minutes in. We're gonna get back to it. Made it through part of the workout. I'm gonna count it as a win with how this week's going. And we've got to get moving to go to Run Club. Forgotten like 5 things so far, trying to get out the door. Made it with 5 minutes to spare, so I've got to decide right now if I'm switching shoes because I was starting to get a little bit of a blister on my pinky, which I think the answer is yes. I did just clean these shoes, so I'm really hoping that the trail is not muddy. Ugh. Come on. Protein bar. And we're off. I did in fact do the 5K turn off because I have got the worst side stitch and a cramp forming up my left thigh. Welcome to our final strength workout of the week. We are 3 for 3, full body. We will still have a long run this weekend, but today we are going to be supersetting strength with stability movements to build our strength endurance, which is so important if you have an active hobby like running. You are doing something for an extended period of time because typically you will accumulate fatigue, and as you fatigue, it's normal for your running efficiency to decrease, for your form to break down. If you have ever finished a run feeling super heavy or like your feet are just dragging, this workout can help. I did mostly this style training toward the end of my half marathon prep, and I truly believe it's what kept me injury free. It feels kind of like a fusion of weightlifting and Pilates. Basically, you take 2 exercises of a similar movement pattern. The first is heavier and more strength focused. The second is lighter and more stability focused. The idea is that the first movement will tax your big muscles first, then the stabilizer muscles are further targeted at using a slow tempo variation of that movement. This is Bean doing her pull-up, very important, but I love it. This is, as far as I'm concerned, the perfect way to round out a week of strength training while still having enough in the tank for weekend running. Welcome to the pre-workout routine. My brain is not currently functioning. We have made it to the weekend, just barely this week, and I think it all started when last night Jeff had plans to go out. I had plans to have a quiet night in, watch season 3 or whatever run of Bridgerton, and just kind of collect my thoughts and feelings from the week, get some work done, have a nice meal, make a nice dinner, have a quiet night marinating on my own. Bean did not settle, which she is a great nighttime sleeper, so it was rather weird. Then Jeff was supposed to stay out later and he came home early, which also love spending time with him. But that did not leave much time for marinating because my expectation was that I was going to have time to marinate before today. I have not really collected myself and I have just felt a bit scatterbrained. But right now Bean is sleeping, so I am getting ready to get an easy run done because I am in fact going to hit 4 runs this week. Okay, so I did not time manage properly today. Jeff is at baseball right now. He will be gone for a bit. It is almost Bean's nap time and I have got to get in a long run. Are you okay? Yeah, can you bring your water bottle over here? Anyways, we are getting ready for a long run, which now that I'm saying it out loud feels incredibly ambitious. But that's what we're gonna do. Maybe she will nap on the run, maybe she won't. It's not that she doesn't like the stroller, I just feel like she's a really busy baby. She loves to run and walk around. I mean, surprise, surprise, look what I was doing during my pregnancy. But last weekend, she was having a blast in the stroller. I don't know what it was. It was the better weather, the wind, the sun, the birds. She loves looking at the animals. So I'm hoping we can have a repeat of that with today's running. She's eager to get going.
Mile 1 and I'm ignoring my heart rate till I get warmed up fully. Oh, is that for me? Thank you. I know, I'm getting you a snack. There you go. Oh dear. Mile 2 and my heart rate's up already. So this is where my heart rate's at. I'm really starting to wonder if zone 2 is even possible in the heat. Sprinkler! Woo! And we're running again. Mile 4 and we made it to the park. Can you step down? Where now?
Okay, so we got back. I put Bean down for a nap. She has been asleep for just over an hour. That is her monitor. I caught up on some computer work and now we're gonna get back on the treadmill to finish up this run, which today I kind of love. Toward the end of half marathon training, I got pretty strict with my workouts, so I would not break up a long run like this. Most of the long runs I was doing had kind of workouts within the workout, but I guess the benefit of not having a race that is super close in the calendar is that I can be more flexible with my training, and I know today it is just about getting in that time on my feet at an easy intensity, which truthfully, zone 2 training is incredibly boring. I actually couldn't stop thinking on my run today how lucky I am to have a little baby and have this stroller and we can just spend a few hours out walk running. Maybe that's silly, but if she's awake, I'd prefer to spend that time with her. I'd prefer to spend the time outside rather than looking at a screen. So if I can combine that with running and getting in that easy effort training, stopping at a few playgrounds on the way, I mean, that's just amazing. So I realized my watch is not the most accurate because I left it on the same outdoor run activity as I had been doing. So I did just over 5 miles outside and the treadmill says another 2.5 miles in here, but that is not what matters. I mean, if I show you my screen right now, it may as well be 0% of my run that I spent above zone 2. Average heart rate 153, which is right at the threshold between zone 2 and zone 3 for me. But this is very exciting. I think I'm gonna continue with my baby stroller walk running. So that is it for our week of workouts, but as promised, let's talk reach challenge. So this will be a 4-week challenge that is based on a hybrid approach to training. All workouts will be in the Team Plans app, done in real time with me. So I am coaching you through every rep of every set in real time. I will put some key info on screen as well as link the challenge info page down below. But what you need to know is that each week we will be doing 3 full body workouts and 3 runs. As with any challenge you do with me, we are going to be focused on a work smarter, not harder approach to training. There will be optional mobility and functional core workouts included to support your training. There will also be guidance for if you want to follow your own running. Within the challenge, there will be 2 levels of run programming. Of course, all this is explained in more depth on the challenge page, which I'll link down below. But what's nice about the running is that it is effort-based. So you can completely customize it to your pace. I will be following the level 2 run programming because I am more focused on speed right now. Now, something I mentioned at the start is the new first 5K guide, which is exactly as it sounds. It is a running guide all about working toward the goal of running 5 kilometers continuously. So it meets you where you're at. This is the exact walk run approach that I used to restart my running journey after having a baby. So going from barely being able to run for a minute continuously to, like I said, I ran my first half marathon. This is the guide that Jeff has been following to get back into running in spite of his bad knees. We go very gradually. We prioritize safety at every stage of this training. There is guidance for running through pregnancy, for running postpartum, for how to listen to your body, good sore, bad sore, all those things that I feel like a lot of guides just kind of skip over. First 5K guide is 12 weeks, so it will last you beyond the Reach Challenge. But the reason I wanted to run this promo alongside the Reach Challenge is because I truly feel you will get the most out of your run programming if you follow alongside the app workouts. Even if you don't necessarily follow the Reach Challenge workouts, I think having that foundation of strength and injury prevention is really going to help you run more consistently as you progress on your running journey. So if you sign up for the app before challenge start, you will get the first 5K guide sent to you for free. Of course, you're welcome to buy it on its own and then also subscribe to the app separately, but why not get it for free? I'm probably forgetting something. So as I've said a million times, more info in the description box down below. I will link the challenge page. That's where you can find all the challenge details, dates, FAQs, all that jazz. Anyways, I am so excited for this next chapter of our journey. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.